Assalamu alaikum. Um, I am Emin Hassan, and my two other members are Tamra Khan and Nira Khan. Our project is Rehaish.pk. It's basically a real estate application, and okay, I'll be explaining it a bit further. Okay. So basically, what our project is that it's an Android application, and it's a real estate application where customers and users can come and find and search for houses and other sorts of properties in ease and convenience. Basically, our main focus on doing this project is to basically shift people from using conventional and traditional ways of searching for houses and their properties into moving into a more digital platform, a more modern platform. Instead of wasting a lot of time in searching in newspapers and other manual things, or we are trying to provide our customers with an up-to-date platform where they can easily find the houses or property that they want according to their criteria or according to the budget that they have. Okay. So, okay. Basically, our main target audience is basically the millennials and youth, since they're the ones that are most engaged in these sort of forums and platforms. So, and we also want to shift the older ones to this digital platform, but our main focus is basically the youth. Okay. Okay. So moving on towards the project scope. Our project scope consists of the different modules that we have worked on during this 1 year course of this project. So we have a login and sign up, and then login with Facebook and Google, and we'll be having properties near you. We'll be using with the help of Google Maps, then settings, then the contact us module, then the add property module where users will be able to add property that they want to give up or for sale or for rent. And then we have properties on rent and sale notifications. Users will be notified of the different um, of their properties being uploaded on their account on the application. And we have call SMS landlord, and we have search history. Whatever the user has searched in the past, it will be displayed to him in the history. Then we have search filter. You can just add different filters into the filter search, and you will be displayed with the properties that you want to search for, and they're then according to your budget and according to your criteria. Okay. And then we have favorites and about info, means what the application is about and our team and all that. Moving on towards the FYP1 deliverables. Okay, so our first phase was basically all about collection of data and the requirements, documentation, and the designs the ERD diagrams, the GUIs, and all sorts of different diagrams, the state diagram, and all the designing stuff that we had to do was done in this phase, as well as the login, the initial login part, and the Facebook and Google login is also included in this phase. Our next phase, phase two, we covered up a bit further. We covered menu, where different modules were covered up, like the add property or properties near you and all the different modules. And we also covered contact us, settings, the Google map, where we use the current location of the user and the map accessed it. Then we use different Google APIs, keys, and about info module was also covered up. Moving on towards the project status of FYP1. In FYP1, we covered half of the project, in which the designing and the requirement phase was covered, as well as the initial login phase was covered, and a few other modules are discussed a while ago, like half of the app property module and settings, contact us, about info, and all this was covered till FYP1, which was in at the end of till the end of December. Yeah. Moving on, we have FYP2 deliverables. FYP2 deliverables consist of the remaining two phases of phase 3, where are covering, currently we are covering nearby properties, and where a user will be notified of different nearby properties that will be shown on his Google Map and his account, and vacant properties that he can buy or, stuff like that. Then we have add property, the same module that we worked on in the earlier phases, but since it was a big module, so we had to break it into different parts, and we had to work on it in this semester as well. Then we have home page, and where all the different properties will be, pictures will be displayed and all that, and we have my properties. The next phase 4, which we will be working on our filter search, favorites, notifications, property data view, and last, integration and system testing. Okay. Moving on toward our project current status, in FYP2, currently, and these are all the modules of FYP2, and currently our status of the project is we are here on my properties. And in my properties, it's working on retrieve current users properties. I've shown this with the help of this arrow that we are done till here, and the remaining parts will be covering in the phase 4, means that we will be covering them now after this. So we are left with filter search, we're left with favorites, notification, property data view, where we'll be viewing different data or different properties, and lastly, we'll be working on integration and system testing. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so we've now the further tools parts and the project demo will be demonstrated by Samra.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Samra Khan. Okay, so now I'll tell you our tools and technologies that we have learned so far and we have implemented in our FIT. The tools that we have learned and implemented are XAMPP. XAMPP is used for our server, backend server. Okay, and IntelliJ IDEA is used for our backend coding. Postman is used for API testing, and PHP MyAdmin is used as our server, backend server for database. So the technologies that we have learned so far are Spring Boot. Spring Boot is the technology for backend development, API testing, how to test API, how to generate an API, Mapbox API, how to use Mapbox APIs, and how to develop backend. Okay, the project demo part of backend is that when the user will input these entities like name, email, and password, and he will press the button add user, these all the entities, values of these entities will be entered to the table, users table. Okay, like this. Same goes for all the tables of our database. Okay, all the tables, we have 9 tables so far. We have 9 tables in our database, and all the things that happen to one table are happening to all the tables. Okay, we will fill all the entities and add them in the table. We will press the button add property, and it will be saved in the property table. Okay. This is used for our to add property image. We will put image URL, and then we will put the property ID on which we want to put this image. Then add property image. The property image will be added to the table of database. Okay. The property type of property ID 1. What is the property type of property ID? One, is it for rent or is it for sale? We will choose it and then we will add property type. It will be saved in the table of database. Property ID, user ID to when a user want to give a review about something, about the property, then he will put property ID on what is the property ID for which he is giving the review. He will put his user ID. He will tell how was the neighborhood, how was the cleanliness, recreation like facilities, and commercial availability. Then he will add the review, and then that review will be saved in the table. Same working goes for the property ID and user ID, which is used for search history. We will put property ID and we will put user ID and then add the search history, and all the search history of that particular user ID and property ID will be shown. Okay. Second part, the working of backend. It we have run the code. It says Tomcat started on port 8080. Okay, now we will go on Google and we will write localhost 8080 and the API of what we want to perform. Okay, we want to perform sign up function, so we will enter sign up. Okay, now we will input the name of the person of the user. It can be Saima Ikrar. Okay, Saima Ikrar at gmail.com, and the password can be anything. When we will push add user button, it will send all the entities into this table. Okay, now we want to add a new user. We can also add a new user. Okay, new user like Ihsan Ahmad. Okay, Ihsan at gmail.com and password. Okay, user is added. Okay, now we will check if this sent to our database or not. Okay, now you will go in the user table and refresh it. You can see Saima Ikrar, Sara Rahman, Sana Ahmad, all the entities that we have inserted previously and we have inserted now Saima Ikrar, it's sent into the table. Okay, now we want to do property image. Okay, we will call the API of property image. Property image. That's it. Property image. Okay, property image. We will input the URL of the image that we want to add. Okay, the URL can be any URL of the picture. Okay, now property ID, the property ID of that property on which you want to put this image. Okay, so the property ID of property ID is one for the property that I want to put the image, add property image. This image is added to the property image table. Okay, now I will if this function is performed in all the tables. Okay, in all the tables, user search history review. Okay, let me show you the review. If I want to give a review of any property, first call the API of the okay. Now property ID to which I want to give the review. I want to give the review of property ID 2. Okay, my user ID is 1. Okay, let's suppose my user ID is 1. I will tell neighborhood how was the neighborhood. The neighborhood was good of that property. Cleanliness was yes, cleanliness was present there. Recreational facilities, yes, there were recreational facilities. Commercial availability, yes. And add review. When I add the review is added into the property. Now I will go to the review table and see if it's added or not. Okay. Now review. See, the review has been added. The review ID is generated automatically. Okay, it is auto generated. It can be anything. It is a primary key, so it is unique. It won't be used another time. Okay, it can't be repeated, and all the reviews that I have given is saved into the table.
Now moving on towards the front end part of the application. So now we have these modules. These are the modules that we have been working on this semester. Previous modules will be demonstrated at the end of the presentation. My property. In my property module, user can view his property that he has been uploaded for rent or sale. Homepage. All the properties of different categories will be displayed, such as homes, flat, plots, etc. available for rent or sale. Next module is add property. In this module, different information regarding property and its images will be entered and uploaded, and as a result property will be added to the user's account. There are some pages of different categories of features. First one is home features, like user will enter built-in area of the home, number of parking spaces available there, number of floors, availability of water, number of bedrooms, etc. Second one is flat features, built-in area of the flat, number of parking spaces, elevator service, number of bedrooms, etc. Third, third one is plot features, corner plot or not, boundary wall is constructed or not, etc. Fourth one is of shop features, built-in area of shop, parking spaces, number of room, etc. And the last one is of office features like built-in air, parking spaces, and centralized air conditioning, availability of water, and etc. Let's run our application Rehaish.pk. Sign in with Google. Signed in successfully. And here is our home page, having different categories of properties: home, plot, flat, shop, offices. On add property, here we will add a property. Title, we will add it View Apartments. Description, West Open, let for example, for sale. Type is, let's have flat, or area 250 yards. Price for sale 2 crore 50 lakh. Features not yet selected, that's why it's mentioned that not selected. Let's select features. Built in year 2005, parking spaces 2, floors in building 3, number of floors, floor number is first floor. Elevator service 0, no. So that's service elevator is not there, so that's not, let's not mark it. Water, availability of water, yes. Bedrooms 2, bathrooms 2, servant quarters 0, living room, bedroom, dining room, done. it's just the message is that displayed just for the checking. And location Karachi. See, this is how auto complete search location work. Karachi, Pakistan. Let's select the first one and cover image. Let's select cover image for our property. Mm, this one, and property images will be this. Done and upload. A property uploaded successfully. And let's see, does it display on the front screen or not. So the property was flat and the apartment name was Seaview Apartment. See, it's displayed. See, so that's how our ad property is working. And my properties, nearby properties are also working. Wherever you search the location, it will take you to that location on the map. Let's search for BHS Sofa University. See, this is how it's working. And our previous work was settings, about us page, and that's all. It's our about our applications. Now let me show you the Firebase, how that data is being storing on Firebase. This is how our properties data is storing on Firebase. Images on images table, all the images, multiple images that the user have selected is stored, like F302 flat. It's a it's somehow flats ID, and it has two images that user has inputted, and its URL is being saved here. And the recently we added a property is this one, F304, and we selected three images and its URL is there, and all the data we selected is in this recent property. Images, image, west open, description, all Karachi, Pakistan. We selected the location and CV apartments. This is how our data is storing on Firebase. Budget and costing. Our budget and costing is hypothetically for 3 months is 36,000 and for 3 members is 1,08,000. Project tools. Tools required are Android Studio, PHP Server, Spring Boot, IntelliJ, Firebase, Bitbucket. Hardware required are laptop and Android phones. References. These are the references for our presentation, and that's all for our presentation. Thank you.